Market Mantra, Market Mantra, Market Mantra, Market Mantra, Market Mantra, Market Mantra.
Welcome to this Wednesday edition of Market Mantra, the program in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. My name is V. Ravi Kumar and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Vishal Sharma.
नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आप सभी का स्वागत। रोज की तरह हम आज भी आप तक आर्थिक, व्यापारिक और शेयर बाजार से जुड़े ताजा समाचार लाएंगे और उन पर चर्चा भी करेंगे। कार्यक्रम में चर्चा के लिए आज हमारे साथ आमंत्रित हैं आर्थिक विश्लेषक जयंता दास। जयंता, नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र में आपका स्वागत। और सबसे पहले हेडलाइंस के साथ हैं वी रवि कुमार।
The headlines that we are tracking in this edition of Market Mantra: Government gives nod to major reforms in marketing of natural gas in the country. Equity markets gained for the fifth consecutive session following a rally in banking and IT stocks. Sensex settles at 39,879 and Nifty closes at 11,739. And global stocks trade mixed after the end of negotiations on a fresh US stimulus package until after the presidential election next month.
सरकार ने देश में प्राकृतिक गैस के विपणन में बड़े सुधारों को मंजूरी दी। बैंकिंग और आईटी शेयरों में तेजी से प्रमुख शेयर बाजारों में लगातार पांचवें सत्र में बढ़त। सेंसेक्स 39,879 पर पहुंचा, निफ्टी 11,739 पर हुआ बंद। और अमेरिका में अगले महीने राष्ट्रपति चुनाव तक आर्थिक प्रोत्साहन पैकेज पर विचार विमर्श रोके जाने के बाद वैश्विक शेयर बाजारों में कारोबार मिला जुला रहा। शुरुआत आज की पहली खबर से। सरकार ने देश में प्राकृतिक गैस के विपणन में बड़े सुधारों को मंजूरी दे दी है। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की अध्यक्षता में हुई मंत्रिमंडल की बैठक में प्राकृतिक गैस के इस्तेमाल से संबंधित सुधारों को मंजूर किया गया। पेट्रोलियम और प्राकृतिक गैस मंत्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान ने नई दिल्ली में पत्रकारों को बताया कि देश में प्राकृतिक गैस की कीमतों में पारदर्शिता लाने के लिए मानक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक नीलामी शुरू की जाएगी।
Railway Minister Piyush Goyal informed that the Cabinet has also given its approval for the revised estimate cost for East-West corridor of the Kolkata Metro Rail project. He said that the project that would incur an estimated cost of nearly 8,575 crore rupees will be open for the public in December 2021. Mr. Goyal said the total route length of the East-West Metro corridor in Kolkata will be 16.6 kilometers and will have 12 stations. The minister asserted that the project will ease traffic congestion, enhance urban connectivity and provide a cleaner mobility solution to lakhs of daily commuters in Kolkata. Mr. Zavadekar informed that the government has signed an MOU with Japan for exchange of knowledge in cyber security, and another MOU has been signed between Geological Survey of India and its Canadian counterpart on bar coding. The minister also informed that the cabinet ratified the Stockholm Convention by banning 7 more chemicals in the country which pose substantial health risks. The Central Board of Direct Taxes, CBDT, has issued refunds of over 1,21,607 crore rupees to more than 35,93,000 taxpayers between 1st of April to 6th of October this year. CBDT said income tax refunds of 33,238 crore rupees have been issued in over 34 lakh cases, and corporate tax refunds of over 88,000 crore rupees have been issued in over 1,83,000 cases.
जी, जयंता हमारे साथ ऑनलाइन जुड़ गए हैं। जयंता, कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत है।
शुक्रिया
जी। और सबसे पहली खबर जो आज जयंता, सरकार ने प्राकृतिक गैस के विपणन से संबंधित जो बड़े सुधारों को मंजूरी दी है, उनको लेकर के आपका क्या नजरिया है? क्या आप सोचते हैं कि इससे प्राकृतिक गैस के विपणन में देश में किस तरीके के बदलाव आने की आप उम्मीद देख रहे हैं?
देखिए, हमारा देश में खास करके इकोनॉमिक तौर से देखा जाए, पिछले 30-40 साल का दौरान लगातार कुछ न कुछ ऐसे नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज के यूज के बारे में निर्णय लिया गया है जो ओवरऑल इकोनॉमी के लिए बहुत ही बड़ा माइलस्टोन रहा। तो हम सबको पता है कि दुनिया भर में जहाँ पे क्लाइमेट और एनवायरनमेंट का बात हो रहा है, वहाँ पे एक नेचुरल गैस एज एन ऑल्टरनेटिव ऑप्शन फॉर फ्यूल, ये एक बहुत बड़ा चर्चा का ऊपर विषय था। और इसके अलावा सरकार का आज जो निर्णय आया है अबाउट इस यूजेज एंड किस तरह से प्रोडक्शन होगा वगैरह वगैरह, इसमें मैं मानता हूँ एक बहुत बड़ा रेवोल्यूशनरी कदम ऐसा माइलस्टोन का रूप से माना जाएगा, जहाँ पे आज का जो भी पॉलिसी डिसीजन रहा।
Jayanta, both ONGC and Oil India Limited stocks really gained today because of this news. Do you expect that sector to be hot in the days to come, or is that just a flash in the pan?
Well, I think it's a bit premature to just call it a flash in the pan. The reason being because this was something which was coming in, and that's the first thing. The second part is policy decision-wise, much more further clarity was required, because no government of the day ever said that we don't need to explore alternate fuels, right? And no government of the day ever said that natural gas will not be an important source of fuel requirements or India's energy requirements for the future. But what was lacking was to align those, wishes with a proper policy document. And I think beneficiaries who are into this business, specifically led by these two giant PSUs which you mentioned, would have a good, days to roll over in terms of how they grow and how, they integrate the businesses from your fossil fuels to shift towards natural fuels.
And also the story that we did about the CBDT refund of over 1,21,607 crore rupees, so over $1 trillion in refund that has been issued between 1st of April and 6th of October, which pretty much would be the large part of the lockdown as well as the unlock.
Yes.
Is this the normal figure for such a period, or are we seeing a spike here, or is it a lower figure?
Well, I don't have an immediate comparative figure to give a overall view, but I do believe it's important to understand that given the pains of the lockdown, specifically with the restrictions in income which has happened, it's an important step for the taxpayers to get their due back from the government. And along the tax reforms, the major focus has always been, if you look at for the last 4-5 years, is to ensure how such reforms and refunds go back to the honest taxpayer as early as possible. And I think this figure is indicating of the fact that, yes, and it happened during a very painful period where people were, sitting at home, either with a, lower salary or either without a job. So it to a great extent will help down ease the pain. I mean, obviously, your refunds don't match up to your income, but nevertheless, if it's something expected from the government, it's a good step to see that this money has been sent back to what was rightly due to the honest taxpayer. So it speaks well in terms of overall government sensitivity towards paying back its dues to an honest taxpayer.
जी, और अब अगली खबर का रुख कर लेते हैं। आवासन और शहरी मामलों के सचिव दुर्गाशंकर मिश्र ने ऋण आवेदनों को मंजूरी देने की प्रक्रिया आसान बनाने के लिए आज प्रधानमंत्री स्वनिधि पोर्टल और स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया पोर्टल के बीच एप्लीकेशन प्रोग्रामिंग इंटरफेस इंटीग्रेशन की शुरुआत की। इससे पीएम स्वनिधि पोर्टल और एसबीआई के ई मुद्रा पोर्टल के बीच आंकड़ों का सहज और सुरक्षित प्रवाह हो पाएगा और ऋण की मंजूरी और इसके वितरण की प्रक्रिया में भी तेजी आएगी। इससे पीएम स्वनिधि योजना के तहत कार्यशील पूंजी ऋण प्राप्त करने वाले विक्रेताओं को लाभ होगा। मंत्रालय कोविड-19 लॉकडाउन से बुरी तरह प्रभावित पथ विक्रेताओं को अपनी आजीविका शुरू करने के लिए सस्ती कार्यशील पूंजी ऋण प्रदान करने के वास्ते 1 जून से प्रधानमंत्री स्वनिधि योजना लागू कर रहा है। इस योजना का लक्ष्य शहरी क्षेत्रों में 50 लाख से अधिक पथ विक्रेताओं यानी स्ट्रीट वेंडर्स को लाभ पहुंचाना है। ये तो बात हुई प्रधानमंत्री स्वनिधि पोर्टल की, और अब शेयर बाजार का रुख करें तो रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज, बैंकिंग और आईटी शेयरों में तेजी से प्रमुख शेयर बाजारों में आज लगातार 5वें दिन बढ़त दर्ज की गई। अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति डोनाल्ड ट्रंप द्वारा राष्ट्रपति चुनाव से पहले प्रोत्साहन पैकेज लाने के बारे में बातचीत रोके जाने के बाद मिले जुले वैश्विक संकेतों के बीच प्रमुख शेयर सूचकांक बढ़त के साथ बंद हुए। कमजोर शुरुआत के बाद बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसेक्स 0.77% की वृद्धि से 304 अंक के उछाल से 800 माफ कीजिए, कृपया इसको दोबारा सुन लें। 39,879 पर बंद हुआ। इसी तरह नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का निफ्टी 0.66% की वृद्धि से 76 अंक बढ़कर 11,739 पर पहुंच गया। 5 कारोबारी सत्रों में सेंसेक्स ने 1,906 अंक की बढ़त दर्ज की है, जबकि निफ्टी में 516 अंक की वृद्धि देखी गई है। वहीं दूसरी तरफ व्यापक बाजार का प्रदर्शन आज अच्छा नहीं रहा। बीएसई मिड कैप इंडेक्स 0.61% गिरा, तो वहीं स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स में 0.4% की गिरावट दर्ज हुई।
Equity markets ticked higher for the fifth straight session following gains in RIL banking and IT stocks. Key indices climbed amid a mixed trend overseas after US President Donald Trump dashed hopes of a pre-election stimulus package. After opening on a weak note, the 30-share BSE Sensex gained ground to end 304 points or 0.77% higher at 39,879. Similarly, the broader NSE Nifty jumped 76 points or 0.66% to close at 11,739. The Sensex has now gained 1,906 points in 5 sessions, while the Nifty has advanced 516 points. On the other hand, the broader market at the BSE today declined, underperforming the Sensex. The BSE Mid Cap Index fell 0.61% and the BSE Small Cap Index slipped 0.4%. Titan was a top gainer in the Sensex pack on Wednesday, climbing 4.4% after the Tata Group firm said its business has been returning to normalcy in the second quarter of this fiscal, led by the jewelry division. Index heavyweight Reliance Industries spurted 2.1% after its retail arm raised around 5,513 crore rupees from Abu Dhabi Investment Authority for a 1.2% stake. Bajaj Auto, Maruti, Ultratech Cement and ONGC were among the other prominent gainers. IT major TCS inched up 0.8% ahead of its quarterly results. On the other hand, Bajaj Finance, Power Grid, Sun Pharma, Tata Steel, NTPC and Bajaj Finserv were among the laggards, skidding by up to 4.1%. Sectorally, BSE Consumer Durables, Energy, Auto, IT, Tech and Financial Indices rose by up to 1.74%, while Metal, Realty, Power, Utilities, Capital Goods and Industrials lost as much as 2.97%. Jayanta, how do you see this almost 5-day surge or almost 2,000 point run in Sensex, and also give us a flavor in the context of the MPC, the Monetary Policy Committee that has started today and will give its results on Friday. After 3 days of the meeting.
Well, obviously, it's, I think one of the 7-month highest peak which has been reported today in the stock market. RIL once again has been the front runner in carrying the Sensex forward to this extent. Bank stocks are doing pretty well. We understood what exactly has triggered off that interest. But what I do believe is, Ravi, 2 things. One is there are some good numbers, not great numbers, but good numbers coming in the auto market. Result of which we saw the auto stocks moving up. And somehow, despite the curve not being beaten down in India in terms of corona, what we do see is there is enthusiasm in the economy coming back in terms of people, going back to normalcy, limping back to normalcy. Going back is the wrong word. So taking a cue from there, I guess there has also been a good response from international markets ever since Trump has gone back to his home from his hospital stay. So I guess there has been 2 reasons, both in the international markets of how they're reacting and how the domestic markets are reacting. Let me also add the fact that despite the stimulus package being called off by Trump all of a sudden, and there was a sudden bit of dullness in the market, but the European markets also did pretty well, which I guess you'll be carrying the news forward, specifically led by performances in companies in Germany and UK. For example, Tesco UK did pretty well. There was I'm forgetting the name of a German manufacturing company which has, one of the front runners in the stock market, which has also taken up in terms of how the markets are performing. What I am cautious of at this point of time, Ravi, is to see whether the market sustains these levels or not, because the numbers are still not getting averaged down to a very happy situation. They may be getting a bit lower here and there. They may be fluctuating a bit, obviously, but at the end of the day, also if I speak of Europe, I was just told, for example, Madrid, the capital of Spain, went into a 1-week lockdown last week. So, because they also are having coming back of numbers. So, it's a cautious optimism at this point of time, but I do strongly believe the stock market globally as well as the Indian stock market would have some sort of, correction from these levels. Specifically, if I quote the Federal Reserve Chairman's statement saying that without stimulus, the U.S. economy is just not going to survive long. So that's a very valid quote, and it's a very valid situation and assessment of the ground reality. But markets, big markets, they are facing a good bull run at present. I wouldn't say it's because of any of the triggers of exuberance or even the economic indicators coming in greatly, but I guess it's more of hope playing in. For India's case, we have a situation where the festival season typically kicks off, although with the cancellation of the festival participation by the government publicly and all, the buying out to a great extent has been dying down. But nevertheless, we do have some green shoots here and there, which I guess the markets are picking up desperately now to have some life back. but there is a correction coming for sure.
जी जयंता, निफ्टी 11,800 के स्तर की तरफ जाता दिख रहा है। 11,800 के स्तर पर आप क्या देखते हैं कि मुनाफा वसूली हो सकती है या फिर बाजार और ऊंचे स्तरों की तरफ बढ़ेगा?
देखिए, अभी थोड़ी देर पहले जैसे मैंने कहा कि यहाँ से ऊपर करने के लिए मार्केट को हमेशा एक खोज रहा है कुछ न कुछ ऐसे ट्रिगर का, जिसमें अगर चाहे कितना भी छोटा ट्रिगर हो, चाहे क्षेत्र ऑटो क्षेत्र में फॉर एग्जाम्पल मंथ टू मंथ एक थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा 3-4% एक्स्ट्रा बुकिंग हो, तो इस तरह का छोटा ट्रिगर मार्केट को इस वक्त लेके जा रहा है। और साथ में गवर्नमेंट का कुछ बीच की जो नीतिगत रूप से जो घोषणा है वो भी मार्केट की तरफ अलग से एक तेजी दोहरा रहा है। लेकिन जब तक ये कोरोना का आंकड़े जो है वो सही रूप से हमारा सामने नहीं आएंगे कि किस हद तक हम नियंत्रित कर पाए कोरोना का आंकड़े के इस नंबर, और दूसरा दुनिया भर में विश्व भर में जो इकोनॉमिक रिकवरी का बात किया जा रहा है वो सही रूप से जब तक आंकड़े नहीं आएंगे तब तक मैं नहीं मानता हूँ मार्केट में एक डिफाइंड रोल प्ले किया जाएगा। लेकिन ये जरूर है इस वक्त मार्केट में एक थोड़ा बहुत यूफोरिज्म है, मार्केट में एक अलग सा ऑप्टिमिज्म है मार्केट में, जिस वजह से मार्केट में हम अलग से तेजी देख पा रहे हैं।
Jayanta, if you look at the MPC which is going to come out with its result on Friday, do you expect a status quo there, or do you expect, because this is the third quarter where India would see an over 6% inflation, so do you see something different there?
I think at this point of time they would like to have a status quo. I don't think they would not think anything much. But having said that, I think rather than contemplate, because we are not buying and selling stock right based on what the NTC recommendations are, we rather wait till Friday to understand. But I don't think they would like to take a major call on what the president is on.
And also many people have been saying for a while now that the need for growth revival is largely in the fiscal space, and monetary probably can just be an enabler. So do you also believe that, or do you think there is still some scope in the monetary policy?
No. I mean, I think, I am completely in support of, continuous fiscal stimulus. I mean, forget India, even the largest of the economies which are operating, Germany, US, for example, they are all working and focusing on the fiscal stimulus. That is going to, fiscal stimulus, including, government spends and all, which are going to revive the economic from present state. We are heading for a negative GDP growth. Let's not forget that. Because of corona, basically, affecting and almost blunting out most of our growth. And blunting out is once again a very, I think, a very soft word. Actually, took off everything than what was there on the table. But what I do believe is the fiscal stimulus has to keep on coming, because what we need is a few major jumps to shake the economy back to some life. And I guess the monetary policy at this point of time is too long a run, to keep those jumps to the economy. And having said that, the government spending also, because we also have to understand the government is not usually sitting on cash reserves. So that's a call which the government also has to take in terms of how much a burden they are willing to take to go and fund this present, crisis. And having said that, as I said, over the last 3-4 months, the government spending has to be, stepped up in a much more accelerated manner. And if I'm not mistaken, in fact, I read somewhere earlier this week, even the finance ministry also would be, focusing on such stimuluses with time milestone dates.
And do you feel, Jayanto, that inflation has peaked, or do you see some supply side constraints in the festive season which might lead to higher inflation?
I think for me it's a very difficult call to make, because two reasons. One is, most of the supply side constraints hopefully should have eased out, except for specific areas where, the distribution systems and all are still clogged because of, unlocked 4, 5 or whatever number you call it, not being, seamlessly executed in the state level. But having said that, I guess the government would also like to keep a watch on how prices are being, at this point of spiraling again. Very thankfully, prices of essential commodities more or less has been stable throughout, which was, if you remember, Ravi, it was one of the major fears around April, May, where we said that, there could be a spiraling effect on essential commodities, being good. But then governments with the state government, and there has been acknowledgement at all levels, despite the, typical state government, central government, debate. There has been acknowledgement where they said most of the state governments, along with the central government, have really done a wonderful job over the lockdown period in ensuring at least the essential commodity prices remain constant to a particular level. Obviously, they could not bring it down, but I think in terms of prices where, all supply side chains are blocked up, roads are not, operating and trucks are not operating, to keep the prices stable also is a wonderful job, thanks to both excellent management jointly by the state and central government.
Moving on to rupee, snapping its two-day losing streak, the rupee today strengthened by 13 paise to settle at 73 rupees and 33 paise against the US dollar. The domestic unit appreciated, helped by positive domestic equities and foreign fund inflows. Traders said investors are focusing on the RBI Monetary Policy Committee MPC decision. The newly constituted MPC of the Reserve Bank began its three-day deliberations today. The decision of the rate-setting panel will be announced on Friday. The dollar index, which gauges the greenback strength against a basket of 6 currencies, rose 0.03% to 93.71.
जी जयंता, यहाँ जानना चाहेंगे कि अर्थव्यवस्था अभी पूरी तरीके से पटरी पर नहीं लौटी है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद रुपए में जी हेलो
हाँ जी
जी जयंता, यहाँ जानना चाहेंगे कि अर्थव्यवस्था अभी पूरी तरीके से पटरी पर नहीं लौटी है, लेकिन इसके बावजूद रुपए में इस मजबूती की वजह आप क्या देखते हैं और ये क्या मजबूती आगे भी जारी रहेगी?
देखिए, इस वक्त जो स्थिति है मार्केट में, खास करके ये भी देखना पड़ेगा कि यूएस मार्केट ओवरऑल अगले 3-4 दिन में किस रूप लेते हैं, क्योंकि स्टिमुलस पैकेजेस को हटाया दिया गया है और ऐसे स्थिति में बहुत जरूरी है समझना कि ग्लोबल स्टॉक मार्केट किस तरह से अलग से ये सिचुएशन और इस न्यूज को सामना करते हैं। एक तो ये है जिसके ऊपर रुपी और डॉलर के एक्सचेंज रेट निर्भर करेंगे। दूसरी सवाल ये है कि अगर हमारा घरेलू बाजार में जो मैं मानता हूँ थोड़ा बहुत करेक्शन एक्सपेक्टेड है इन द फोर्टकमिंग फोर्टनाइट ऑफ को, तो रुपी का डायरेक्शन इस वक्त थोड़ा सा जैसे मैंने कहा कि रेंज बाउंड रहेगा, जहाँ पे इस वक्त जो स्तर है उसमें मैं ज्यादा बदलाव का उम्मीद नहीं कर सकता।
जी, और अब एशियाई बाजारों के प्रदर्शन पर नजर डाल लेते हैं। एशियाई शेयर बाजार आज 2 सप्ताह के उच्च स्तर पर पहुंचकर बंद हुए। आर्थिक प्रोत्साहन पैकेज के बारे में अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति डोनाल्ड ट्रंप के बातचीत रोके जाने के बाद एशियाई बाजारों में तेजी देखी गई है। अगले महीने होने जा रहे राष्ट्रपति चुनाव तक आर्थिक प्रोत्साहन पैकेज नहीं मिलने की खबरों के बाद अमेरिकी शेयर बाजारों में गिरावट दर्ज हुई। हालांकि एशियाई निवेशकों पर इसका कोई अधिक असर नहीं देखा गया। सिंगापुर के स्टेट टाइम्स में 0.4% की वृद्धि दर्ज हुई। दक्षिण कोरिया का कोस्पी 0.9%, हांगकांग का हैंगसेंग 1.1% बढ़त में रहे। जापान का निकेई स्थिर बना रहा, जबकि चीन के शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स में कारोबार नहीं हुआ। यूरोपीय शेयर बाजारों में अंतर्देशीय कारोबार के दौरान सीमित दायरे में मिला जुला कारोबार देखा गया। लंदन का फुटसी 0.1% ऊपर कारोबार कर रहा था, जबकि जर्मनी का डेक्स और फ्रांस का कैक 0.3% के नुकसान में थे।
Looking at the U.S. market, U.S. stocks fell sharply yesterday after President Donald Trump said he was calling for negotiations with Democratic lawmakers on coronavirus relief legislation until after the elections next month. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 1.3%, the S&P 500 declined 1.4%, and the Nasdaq Composite Index plunged 1.6%. Janta, we saw yesterday, rather in the day, a tweet from Donald Trump saying that he is calling off negotiations. Then overnight, there were another tweets coming in saying that if I get a 25 billion airline payroll package bill and 135 billion paycheck protection program for small businesses, I will sign right now. Those kind of tweets coming in. So is this just the art of deal making from Donald Trump, or is this just posturing, or is the deal actually off?
Well, if the deal is actually off, I won't have privy to that information at this point of time. Basically, for the main reason is this is election time in the US. And we are just, I think, around, say, I guess, 7 weeks away, typically, I guess, Ravi.
Yeah.
So when you are 7 weeks away from an election, and when you are, fighting a battle where you are already down by around 15 to 16 points in terms of the surveys which you are saying, I guess for the Republicans, it needs to, bring up a bit of more gallery playing in terms of what's happening to the stimulus. Now, obviously, if the stimulus package is announced, the biggest beneficiary will be Mr. Donald Trump, given that, and the nearer to the election it's announced actually, because that's fresh in the mind. So I guess there would be some headroom for, stage playing over here in terms of what they want to do. And in case the stimulus package is not announced, once again, the president and the ruling party, in this case, the Republicans, have to play it up of how the Democrats came in and spoiled the game. So, either way, as you know, when political battles are, fought over, specifically on the election canvas, these sorts of, swinging like a yo-yo policy announcements do happen. But unfortunately, this is COVID time, and I guess it's been beyond, any doubt that a huge second stimulus package is required. What needs to be seen is how it is placed in, and exactly at what time, so that, it's favorable for the election. So let's see. I mean, because if he delays it a bit more, I think the Democrats would not like to have a stimulus package being announced, for example, in mid-October, which is right 2 weeks before the election. So let's see how it pans out. Interesting times, and I guess all democracies, whenever they go for elections, we get to see such sort of swinging of policy decisions, which basically tries to favor the ruling party.
One of the things that both Europe and America have done very well is the payroll protection. So they've given direct checks to people, small businesses and people to protect their jobs. Now, if this doesn't happen, if this bill doesn't go through, will it have an effect on those people who have been for the last 5-6 months getting direct checks into their bank accounts, and will that then have a ripple effect on the worldwide economy?
See, that's a very good question, Ravi, because typically small businesses, most of them have once again limbed back, if not to normalcy, to at least opening of operation hours. Now, I was reading at least 2 reports, specifically in the states of Texas, for example, which is a Republican state, basically, where they say that people are willing to stay at home and enjoy those payroll checks right at home rather than going out to work. Now, the rule also says that if your owner has opened up and if you don't come back to work and if your owner reports to you, then that payroll check stops coming. So it's actually a catch-22 situation to understand that if businesses have opened up and if the people, they don't want to go back to work because the payroll check is much more handsomer at home than to go back and earn your, dollar by sweating it out. I guess it's a call to take in terms of, which businesses are actually benefiting from it and which businesses might do without it.
Right.
But having said that, it's focused towards the poorest of the poor in terms of wage earners, so it will have an important political effect. So there is no denying on that.
Right. Let's look at the oil prices. The oil prices today fell after U.S. President Donald Trump dashed hopes for a fourth stimulus package to boost the coronavirus-hit economy. Crude prices were also pressured by a larger than expected rise in U.S. crude inventories. In intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading around $41.90 per barrel, while WTI crude prices were around $39.90 per barrel.
और अब बात गोल्ड की। दिल्ली सराफा बाजार में सोने का भाव आज 694 रुपए गिरकर 51,215 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम रहा, जबकि चांदी 126 रुपए की मजबूती से 63,427 रुपए प्रति किलो के स्तर पर पहुंच गई। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में सोना बढ़त के साथ $1,892 प्रति औंस और चांदी $23.73 प्रति औंस पर स्थिर बने रहे।
If you look at the gold prices, Jayanta, we probably saw peaks in silver of around 80,000 in August, and 7th August, if I remember correctly, was around 57,000 for gold. Has gold and silver both clearly come off the peaks, or do you think it might go back again?
Well, if you ask me, I am a very strong proponent of gold as an investment in the medium term for 2 or 3 basic reasons, because once Corona dies down, there will be a good upsurge in demand buying. Specifically given the marriage season has figured off to some extent, number one. And number two, what I also believe is post the US election results, there could be a very high chance of markets going into a topsy-turvy. During the run-up of the markets, which you also have been observing closely, happening at really high levels, with not much of fundamentals speaking for why this level should be so high. So when such sort of inconsistencies drive in, I guess the next 3 to 6 months run for gold would be a good decent one. Although it's a good time to average out your buying right now if you intend to buy and invest in gold. I am quite bullish on the gold in the medium term.
जी, जयंत दास, कार्यक्रम में शामिल होने और चर्चा के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
शुक्रिया।
और अब चलते चलते एक नजर आज की सुर्खियों पर एक बार फिर।
Thank you, Jayanta. Before we close, a reminder of the headlines that we covered in this edition of Market Mantra. Government gives nod to major reforms in marketing of natural gas in the country. Equity markets gained for the 5th consecutive session following a rally in banking and IT stocks. Sensex settles at 39,879 and Nifty closes at 11,739. And global stocks trade mixed after the end of negotiations on a fresh US stimulus package until after the presidential election next month. That's all that we have in this edition of Market Mantra. Namaskar.
Market Mantra.